Hey, everybody. Marcus C. Williams here, and I'm the chairman of the Rochester City Republican Committee. I'm also running for Rochester City Council this year. I'll be on the conservative line. Anybody can vote for me, no matter what party they're in, Democrat, Independent, Republican, whatever. You can vote for me on the conservative line November 4th. But I'm here to talk to you guys this evening about the continued negligence and disrespect of Rochesterians that city council shows. Every single day, they continue to fail and honestly refuse to address the issues that we are facing in our city. Crime is out of control. Housing prices are ridiculous, even whether you rent or you're trying to buy one. Then we have all of the other issues like the education system, the high energy costs, and the economy in our area. It's where are the jobs? You understand what I'm saying? The good paying jobs. This is something that doesn't get addressed. But just the other night, our city council decided in their infinite wisdom that they wanted to make some amendments to our sanctuary city policies. Okay. Now, I know many of you guys might look at what goes on the federal level and be like, well, sanctuary city policies, I understand what's going on there. You might think that you understand what's going on with sanctuary city policies, but they snuck in a whole bunch of alphabet stuff into this sanctuary city policy. And they are trying to say, oh, well, it's about equality and stuff like that. It's not about equality. It's about separating our citizens and dividing our citizens into individual groups and providing certain groups with more rights than the rest of the whole. And for me, that is completely unacceptable. So we're going to dive right into this because a lot of people didn't even know that this was happening on city council. And I got to be honest, this kind of crept up on me, even though I try to do my best to stay up on what they're doing. It's just so much all the time. So hit the like button, hit the share button, share this on your page, and please donate to my campaign. You don't even have to be local to donate. Go on my website, Marcus4Rochester.com. That's Marcus4Rochester.com, because we have to fight these people and get them out of office. This bill was voted on 9-0. And in a second here, you're going to hear exactly why it's such a big problem. Okay. So what I need you guys to understand is city council is supposed to represent you. When they came out of their mouth the other night after they passed this law, they said, this is what we as a city believe. No, it's not what we as a city believe, because I'm sure that they probably didn't talk to anybody that's listening to this. Did they go to the churches? They didn't go to the churches on this. I wonder why. Did they go to the Black community and talk about this? No, they didn't go to the Black community and talk about this. Did they go to the Puerto Rican community? Did they go to the Latino community? They didn't talk to them about this nonsense either. Because part of this law, when they're talking about sanctuary cities, they put in this law that grown men can be in the bathroom at city rec centers and at city pools and at city other places with little girls. That's right. This is what city council passed. And some people might be like, Marcus, that's ridiculous. They would never do something like that. Oh, yes. And it passed 9-0. All of them need to be off of there. Every single one of them need to be gone. And I don't care whether I like some of them or I don't like some of them. The fact that all of them voted for this needs to show us that they don't represent us. Now, I'm going to read some of the text from the law that they passed, just because I don't want people to be like, oh, well, it doesn't say that. I'm going to tell you exactly what it says because it's absolutely repugnant. Now, right here, I'm going to read this part here, and you're just going to be completely blown away. Like I was when I read it. I was like, oh, my goodness, is this really what's going on? So it begins. It shall be unlawful due to discrimination for any person being the owner of a leasee, proprietor, manager, superintendent, agent, employee of any public place, accommodation, resort, amusement, to directly or indirectly. Now, that was already in the law. This is what they added in. What I'm about to read is what was added in. Hit the like button and share this out. It says, you can't deny access to a public bathroom, a locker room, a dressing room, dressing room, or bathing facilities. Bathing facilities? Somebody really went out the way to pull that one up. Bathing facilities. That is designated for a gender that is consistent with a patron's gender identity. It continues. You cannot restrict the use of a single-use bathroom to a particular gender. So that means that if it's a men's bathroom, you can't say only men go in there, even if it says on the sign, only men. That means that if it says a women's bathroom, even though it says women's only, it means that men can go in the bathroom. See, now this is a very serious problem and we need to get this message out. So I need you to share this video, please. Share it on your page, share it on your friend's page, send it to other people in emails, put it on your X account, put it on your YouTube account, put it on Facebook, put it on everywhere. These people need to be put on blast for this insanity. Again, going back to specifically what it says in this law that City Council just passed, and it's masquerading as a sanctuary city law. That's what the worst of it is, right? Like they put some stuff in there about illegal aliens, okay? I'm not so happy about that. You guys know how I feel. We should prioritize our citizens and immigrants and refugees, not illegal aliens, right? Because they didn't do it the right way. We'll talk about that later, but that's not the important part right here. The important part is that they said that it says, I'm reading it again for people who are just joining in. You cannot deny access to a public bathroom, locker room, dressing room, or bathing facility that is designated for a gender that is consistent to a patron's gender identity or expression. So now, gender identity or gender expression, those are two separate things. So that means I could dress up in girls' clothes, even if I don't believe that I'm a girl or a female in any way, and I can go in the girls' bathroom. I don't think that that's okay. That means that a 6'5", 290-pound man can go in the locker room with your 6-year-old daughter. That means you can have a grown man taking a shower with your mother at the city pool. Hello, is anybody out there hearing me? Because this is what City Council said. This is what they put in play. This is an actual law, you guys. This is what they put in, and I guarantee you that if you were watching this, they probably didn't consult you over it. Now, what the information that came out about it was there were 10 nonprofits, organizations that are funded by different nefarious means and people putting money in other people's pockets that pushed this, okay? And again, this is why we have to get this out. So share this everywhere. Because the fact that the city operates rec centers for children, and they're now saying that you have to let grown men, okay, in the bathroom with little girls is unacceptable, okay? And people will say, oh, well, this excuse and that excuse, or what about this, or what about that? It's not what about nothing. That's inappropriate, okay? That is the baseline of our society. Like, we have nothing. They've already taken Christ out of everything. They've taken the Lord, our Father, out of everything. Now they're trying to shred the basic common sense things that we have in our society, which is grown men that are not familiar to your children should not be in the bathroom with them in a public space. Hello. Where is the protections for the children, for the young ladies, for the little girls? There is no protection. Nobody thought about them. Nobody cared about that. Nobody. And the same goes vice versa. You know, we don't think of it as much, but if you've been following the news for the last couple of months, we've seen a whole bunch of women abusers coming out from all across the country that are abusing young underage men. And that's something that we don't ever talk about. But I figured that it's more easier for people to understand that some grown behind man doesn't have any business in a bathing area with your young daughter or your niece or your cousin. Can we make this make sense? Every single member of City Council signed off on this unanimously. All 9 of them, you guys. So this is why I'm telling you, I need your help this year. I'm running for city council. I need you to volunteer. I need your donations. Even if you're not local, you can donate. Okay, go on my website, Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com. You can donate right on there. It is really simple. It takes less than 2 minutes. There's, even if you click the donation button, it'll tell you where you can send a check if you don't want to donate online. I need your donations to stop this insanity. This is clearly against the will of the people, but they're telling us that that's what our city stands for, that that's what we as citizens stand for. I don't stand for that. And I'm not going to sit by and sit for it either. Okay, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to speak up against this, and I'm working my darndest to make sure I win this election. But I need your help. These people are clearly anti-God, they're anti-human, and they're anti-common sense. And all I'm trying to do is make some sense out of the nonsense, because we deserve better. It's clear that they don't matter to us, that we don't matter to them. Excuse me. Some people got some making some comments. Let's see. It's hard for me to read and see on the screen at the same time. I see your comment there. Okay, yeah, it's ridiculous. And people will say, oh well, they won't be pedophiles. How do you know? How do you know? I'd love to pull up the list of people that are offenders in our city. If you actually knew how many child predators were in our city, you'd freak out. You'd freak out. Go look it up. It's public information for the ones that already have cases on them. You'd freak out. Okay? It's a real serious issue. And we need to talk about this. But worse than that, there is the grooming of children, and that's exactly what this is. This is the normalization, the getting the young girls and young boys to think that it's okay to be in these types of facilities with another sex or somebody that looks all discombobulated, okay? Like, this is the stuff that they're pushing, right? The biggest concern that I need to share with you is this concept of gender expression nonsense, okay? So gender expression means that you can dress however you want, right? It doesn't mean that that's the gender that you think that you are. It doesn't mean that that's the gender that you relate with. It doesn't mean any of that. It's you expressing the gender that you decided that you want to express. Then even worse on top of that is the gender identity nonsense. Okay, as you know, as I'd like to point out, that didn't say anything about gay people. That didn't say anything about the lesbians. That didn't say anything about homosexual males. That didn't say anything about bisexuals, did it? No, it said gender identity and gender expression. That's got nothing to do with them. That's got nothing to do with gay people. But it does have to do with gender ideology and those other things that are not actually about how your sexual orientation is, okay? It's about sexual perversion, okay, and nonsense. That's what it is. It's ideology that they're pushing, okay? It's not about homosexuality, because they didn't mention that at all right there. They mentioned gender identity. So you gonna tell me that a gay man don't know that he's a man? Stop it. You gonna tell me that a lesbian don't know that she's a woman? Like, their whole concept of same-sex attraction is they are attracted to people of the same sex, right? So when we step away from that and we talk about gender identity, that's some nonsense that's made up, okay? Well, today I feel like a bird. It don't make you a bird, okay? Maybe you a bird, the other type of bird. Y'all know the type. Or a bird brain, but it don't make you a bird. This is a problem, people. Gender expression, like, you can't base things on that, okay? You're going to have grown behind men in the bathrooms with little girls. We already have a very serious human trafficking problem in Rochester, which city council completely ignores. I try to bring it up at least once a month because I can't even go as hard on the whole situation as I want to, and it's ridiculous, okay? And it's not even talked about. The amount of sexual assaults in our city is absolutely ridiculous, beyond compare ridiculous. And most of them don't even get reported, which is a whole nother separate conversation. Okay. These are serious problems that we have in our city, and they're trying to slowly manipulate and warp and craft the mind of young men and women, and even adult men and women, and make them think that this type of behavior is something that is okay. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No part of any of this is okay. No part of it's okay. And I want to know, I really want to know, I want the person's name that went out of their way to include bathing facilities. What type of a pervert does that? You understand what I'm saying? What type of a monster says, yes, people based on their gender identity should be able to go in bathing facilities? Bathing facilities. So you telling me that some guy grown behind man, see, I almost slipped up there because that's how perturbed I am at this whole situation. Some grown behind man can say he identifies as a woman and go in the same shower facility or bath with women? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And we need to be having these conversations, and we need to talk about this stuff. But so few people want to actually actively talk about it because people are scared of how they'll be perceived or who will say what about them. I don't care. It's wrong, and we need to stand up. When we see wrong, we need to call it out, and we need to stand against it, and we need to push back. And I encourage you guys, please donate to my campaign because we have to beat this insanity. Every single city council person voted for that. I would never, I promise you, I never vote for anything like that nonsense. I'll never, excuse me, they say never say never. I will not, as long as I draw breath, vote for anything like that. That is absolutely insane. We're not gonna, what we're not doing, and I'm not gonna let this go either. I'm not gonna let this go because I want the churches to come out on this. All the churches here in this city need to be standing up and pushing back against this. Okay? No church should just be like, this is okay. So if you're watching this, go tell your pastor. Send this video to your pastor. Send this video to your deacons. Send this video to your bishop. Send this video to whoever you have that else is in the church, the elders, whatever the case is. Every single body in your church needs to know about what's going on here. This is absolutely insane. And they passed this in our city, and they said that this is what we believe as a city. And it is time that we show them that it absolutely 1000% is not. Our city does not believe that grown men should be in the bathroom or bathing facilities with little girls. Drop a comment, share this video on your page, your friend's page, wherever, and please donate to my campaign. Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com. We have to get the word out about my candidacy because it's very clear that in that 9-0 vote, unanimous vote, not one of them on city council will actually stand up for us. But I will stand up for you. I will stand up for you. You know why they did this? Because of special interests. They said it was 10 different groups that collaborated together to do this. All nefarious nonprofits, some of them getting backdoor money from city council or different parts of the state. You understand what I'm saying? To push this ridiculous agenda on your child, on your nephews, on your nieces, on your family. Okay? It's unacceptable. And there's more tragic stuff in there too. It goes on to talk about other things like we believe as a city that genital mutilation is good for children. Excuse me? You gonna tell me that we as a city, as a collective whole, believe that child genital mutilation is okay? I'm not with it. And I know that most of you out there aren't either. Even, and I'll take it one step further. I guarantee you most of the people that identify as being one of these alphabet people, especially the homosexuals, I guarantee you that most of them do not agree with child genital mutilation. So you're going to sit here and tell me that that represents our city? How dare you? The audacity, the gall. You understand what I'm saying? The disrespect, the disservice. This is all in this. This is all in this law that they pushed and they passed. And they said that that's what we believe in. I don't believe in that. And I know for a fact that the vast majority of you don't. And I'm going to get hate for saying what I'm saying. I'm telling you right now, I already know I've already been getting hate for what I'm saying. I'm only standing up and preaching righteousness. I'm not saying anything wrong or out the way or anything that everybody doesn't already know. Grown men shouldn't be in the showers with little girls. Grown men should not be using the bathroom with your wife. Unless it's maybe you, but you understand what I'm saying? Can I get real close real quick and just lean in a little bit on y'all? Listen, you guys, this right here shows you exactly how little that they are concerned with you, right? You might even support this. I don't agree with you, but you might even support this. But the fact of the matter is, they did not bring this out to public. Something like this should have been a public referendum. But they didn't put it on a public referendum because they knew good and goddamn well if they put this out there and let everybody else, the rest of the citizens in the city, know about this, the citizens would have flipped out. Flipped out. Everybody would have flipped out. If you drop a comment, I'll try to pop it up. Drop a comment. I'll try to share it. Not all the platforms will allow me to pop the comments up, but if you do, I'll read it later and I'll write back. So I encourage you, please donate to my campaign because we got to beat these people. There is no way that if this is the start of what they're doing, you guys, this is just the start of what they're doing. And the complete disrespect that it happened with shows you that they'll do whatever they can behind your back, behind closed doors, and just kind of sneak it in there. Okay. Now, this is very, very serious. This is very, very serious. Okay. And I just honestly, it bothers me so much that not one, it's 9 of them, bro. It's 9 of them. Outside of the 3 people who did it, who pushed this whole nonsense, Stanley Martin, Mary Lupian, okay, Kim Smith, I'm calling y'all out. Okay. I'm calling you out because how dare you, Stanley Martin, okay, who fake black, you ain't really black and you ain't really from Rochester, so we ain't gonna talk about that. You Caribbean from somewhere, okay? Come on now, trying to tell us that this is what black people want. Black people don't want this nonsense. You don't speak for us. Kim Smith, the audacity, Kim, you know better. You know better. Tell the rest of the black people, Kim, okay, that this is what you support, that you support men in bathrooms with little girls and in the rec center bathroom with little girls. Talk to me, Kim. Mary, we already know how you feel. You so far left, you done fell off the other side of the boat. Okay? So, but these are the serious problems. I didn't expect those 3 to come out to the public and say anything. But Mitch Gruber, you supposed to be a practicing Jew. Is that what Jews believe? Jews believe that grown men should go in the bathroom with little girls. Mitch, tell me, is that what Jews believe? I'm going to go speak to a couple of my rabbi friends tomorrow because I ain't never heard that from one Jew. Not even the ones that really be really deep into the Talmud and the rest of those books. Okay. And there's some very sketchy stuff in there. Okay. But I ain't even never heard no nonsense like that. Okay. There's sort of kind of some stuff in the Talmud that says stuff like that. But the point of the matter is I ain't never heard them out here saying none of that. So are you Jewish or are you not? You support this? So do Jews support this? Right? You're saying that Jews support that? Because Kim Smith and Stanley Martin are saying that black people support that. And we definitely don't. Okay? Then you got Miguel Melendez. Miguel, Puerto Ricans support that? You show me the Puerto Ricans that support that nonsense. Did you take it to the barrio? Because I'm going to take it to the barrio. I'm going to tell them what and see what they feel about it. I'm going to let them know what you did, Miguel. Talk to me, bro. What's up? Okay, I can't believe that you did that. Willie Lightfoot, you supposed to be a pastor, bro. What's good? That's apostate nature. That's abomination. You pushing on people. Come on now. You just letting this happen? Who's y'all getting kickbacks or what's going on? Come on. And Lachey, I'm so disappointed. I can't even. I can't even. And then Michael Patterson, bro. Here's the thing about Mike Patterson that hurts my heart the most. We don't agree on everything. But one thing that he said in that meeting that night is that he stands against the socialist agenda. Michael Patterson said that in that meeting that night. That's what he said at the city council meeting. He said that he stands against the same one that they voted for this. He said that he stands against the socialist agenda. But you just passed and codified the socialist agenda in this document. Are you serious? Or are you just playing in my face and being cute when it's convenient? Now, I ain't going to be mad at these people like all the other people going to be mad at them, but y'all need to be mad at them. Y'all need to be lighting up them phone lines and pushing this to be overturned. Ain't no way. So despicable. I want to know who got paid off of this nonsense. This is too much. It's too much. All that rest of that stuff, the illegal alien nonsense, okay, y'all know I'm not for that. But that's besides the point because they tried to sneak this in there. They tried to sneak this in there. Okay. Yeah, so somebody says, so that's meaning, and I'm sorry, I can't really see it because of the way that this thing is set up here, the whole comment. But essentially they're saying, meaning any creep or pedo serial killer can be dressed up in disguise. And yes, that's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means. And they don't even need to be in a disguise because it's in the head. It's what they say that they identify out of their mouth. It's not necessarily a real thing. So this is a very, very, very serious situation. And we need to address it. So I encourage you guys, wherever you are, you don't have to be local to donate to my campaign. Help me fight this insanity. I need your help. Donate to my campaign. No matter where you are, you can donate. Do it on my website, Marcus4Rochester.com. That's Marcus4Rochester.com. Please also sign up to volunteer. If you can volunteer, please do that as well. And let's continue because I'm going to read some more of this, right? Because I do want to get into some part of the illegal alien situation. And we're going to come back to this because I got some more. I need to take a breath. I need a breather from this for a second. That's how bad this thing is. Okay. Now, let's get up here. So they added a whole new part of legislative things in this whole situation for illegal aliens. Now, here's the situation. It's titled immigrants, right? But they're not immigrants. They're illegal aliens. Immigrants came into this country the right way. Okay, not the wrong way. Refugees came into this country the right way, not the wrong way. And if you've ever dealt with refugees, you know, it's ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous what refugees have to go through to get into this country. So to disrespect them and lump them in with illegal aliens, it's not acceptable. And yes, who said that? Shayla? Yes, this is all the Democrats. Every single one of them on city council is Democrat right now. So I encourage you, vote for me. I'll be on the conservative line. And if you are sick and tired of the Democrat Party, change your registration. Change your registration. Register as an independent. Because these people, they don't represent nobody but themselves. Okay, so go register as a blank or no party affiliation. If you feel that you're more conservative and have more conservative values, talk to me. We'll see about if you would be interested in registering as a Republican if you have actual Republican values. But this is crazy. You're absolutely right. This is all Democrats. Every single one of them is Democrats. This was pushed by the progressive left. They say that they're so-called progressives right on all of their stuff for those three that I mentioned earlier. Now, this is one of the worst things that I hate about these fake pseudo-political people nowadays. They like to try to change the definition of words and meanings, like we're talking about immigrants right now. Like they call themselves the progressives. They're not the progressives. The progressives were an ultra-conservative group. Go look up the Progressive Party. Okay, go look it up, right? Like, don't believe me because I'm saying it. Believe me because I'm telling you. I'm taking the time and I'm telling you. Go look it up. The Progressive Party was ultra conservative. They'd never be for any of this stuff. They'd be like, we need to lynch these people in the street type of stuff. Okay. And no, lynching is not just something for Black people that they try to make it out to be. Hanging people is the historic way of killing people in America and in many other nations. And it's still done in a ton of other countries, especially North, South America. So it's not uncommon. And Europe still too. They still hang people in many places in Europe. Like it's not, but they try to make you mess with your mind because they want to get rid of the death penalty for these crazy creepers. Okay. This is part of the problem. But again, back to the part that they call themselves progressives. They're not progressives. Not really. They just co-opted that name because they thought that it sounded good. You know, the Progressive Party are the people who pushed to make marijuana illegal. They also pushed to make alcohol illegal, and that was where prohibition came from. That was the progressives. So we need to understand that they're trying to manipulate language to influence the way that we think, the way that we feel. And that's why they're calling these illegal aliens immigrants. And it's a complete and utter disrespect, a complete and utter disrespect to everybody else. It's unacceptable. Let's see. Ryan made a comment. Ryan, what you got? What you talking about? Ryan says, Marcus, we had a great conference earlier today. Let's continue getting people out. Let's continue to get the word out about the problems in our city and what people can do to work to make a difference. Yeah. Thank you, Ryan. We did a press conference earlier about this because this is completely insane. And it's more upsetting that city council didn't bring this to the public. This should have been a referendum. We should have voted on this. Like they just unilaterally did it with these 10 nonprofit groups that are funneling money into their pockets or into their cousins' pockets because somebody must be getting some money, or maybe they got dirt on you, or maybe they're holding a dagger behind your neck. I don't know. Okay, but for there to be people on there that call themselves Christian to sign this bill, okay, that allows grown men in little girls' bathrooms, okay, and in showers with little girls, okay, people that you don't know around your family members, bro. I don't know how you can call yourself a Christian and sign off on that. And I definitely don't know how you can call yourself a pastor. I got problems with that for sure. Okay, and I guess I'm sure I'm not gonna make no new friends out of any of them after this video. Okay, but I'm sure that they knew how I would feel about this before it happened. But somebody got to name them by name, especially Stanley Martin, Kim Smith, and Mary Lupien, who pushed this. And Stanley is on the ballot this year. She needs not to win, y'all. Do not vote for Stanley. Normally, I don't tell people, oh, don't vote for this person or vote for that person. Definitely don't vote for her. Okay? Definitely don't vote for her because she co-authored this with those people. Who's putting the money in your pocket, Stanley? Snipe. Ridiculous. It's absolutely unacceptable. What else we got? What's this say? Miss Davis says, you can kiss public places goodbye. Miss Davis, you are absolutely right. This is crazy. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You can't be, and as we fought, so this is a big thing for me, right? So in our country, and we're right in the city of Susan B. Anthony, right? Women have fought so hard for all of these rights and their freedoms and stuff like this. And this is backtracking on all of this. It's stealing away women's privacies, women's ability to have their own spaces. Like, that's crazy. Didn't you guys just see that Uber even started a thing where you can select a woman-only driver? Well, why is that? Because sometimes women feel as though they need their own spaces and their own places. Okay? Like, so we're just going to completely disacknowledge women, like women aren't important anymore. Like, I mean, again, now they're making the best women are men now, apparently. And this legislation, and I want to get back to the immigration because I'm trying to stay off this topic for a second so I can cool down. Because, I mean, man, I'm so wound up like about this, I'm trying to tell you. But in this legislation, it also says not just the men and women's bathrooms and the men and women's showers. It not just the we believe in child genital mutilation. It doesn't just say those two things. It also says that men should be able to participate in women's sports, okay? And girls' sports. Where does it stop, you guys? I love women athletes. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's impressive to be any type of an athlete. It's impressive to be any type of an athlete. It's not easy. I used to be, well, I guess I still am an athlete. But I used to play more sports before. I don't play as many sports. Okay. But the fact of the matter is women have fought hard and they trained hard for their own for their own sports. Women aren't able to compete against men, or men that identify as women or express themselves as women. Like, are you serious? Like, they don't have the muscle density, they don't have the bone density, they don't have the hormones. It just doesn't work like that. It's unfair. And aren't we talking about equality and justice for all? Where is the justice for them? What I'm seeing is justice for some and not for the greater whole. You know, I didn't see any special protections in that legislation for Black people. I'm a Black man. We are the most discriminated class in society. I am a Black Christian American. We are the most discriminated class in society. Okay? There ain't nothing out there for us. As a matter of fact, they don't even expect us to achieve anything in our lifetime. So when you talk to me about a class that needs to be protected, it should be Black men. Should be in that legislation somewhere. Where are the protections for Black men? You understand what I'm saying? Where are the protections for Black people? Did they put in protections for Puerto Ricans? Oh, no, they didn't put protections for Puerto Ricans, but they put in protections for illegal aliens from other countries. Got you. Got you. So Puerto Ricans didn't get anything special there either, right? So y'all not important to them. Y'all got to listen to what these people saying in the legislation that they writing, because they telling you what they about, and they telling you who's actually important, and you are not it to them, but you matter to me. And that's why I'm running. And I encourage you guys, share this video, share it on your page, your friend's page, everybody's page, send it in an email, send it in the snail mail. Okay, do whatever. Get this message out there and let people know that November 4th, they can vote for me, or in early ballots or mail-in ballots too. They can vote for me, Marcus C. Williams, because this is unacceptable. We can't let this stuff continue, for them to continue act like we're not important and we don't exist and our values don't matter and they don't care about us, when they're supposed to be our representatives that are responsive to us. That's why I always encourage you guys, stand up. Stand up. Share this with your pastor. Share this with your preacher. Share this with your bishop, whoever. Okay? Prophetess, prophet, whoever, I don't care, man. Let everybody that says that they are children of God or believers share this with their religious leader, because this is unacceptable. Let everybody in Black society share it with their family. Let everybody in Latino society share it with their families. Let everybody that's a normal white person share it with their families. You understand what I'm saying? Let everybody else that is of sound mind and sound body share it. Share this video, because this is unacceptable what is being done in our city. And please encourage everybody to donate to my campaign. I need to raise about $10,000 to really do something. That means if we can raise $100 from 100 people, we're really kicking something forward, and we can make this victory really secure. Okay, so please donate on my website. You don't have to be local to donate. You don't have to be local to donate. Go to my website, support Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com. Click the little donate button. It takes less than 2 minutes to donate. There's even a thing on the donate page that shows you where you can send a check if you want to donate a check. Donate by check. You guys, but I need your help. I need your help. Sign up, volunteer on my face or on my page. Okay, send me a message saying that you want to volunteer. Okay, let me know that you're willing to stand up and push back against this nonsense. And I hope that we can have a whole army of people that's going to go down to city council with me next month and stand up and push back against this nonsense, because we're not going to let this go. We can't let this go. If we let this go, this will open the floodgates for everything else. They've already told you that that you don't matter to them, that they don't care about you, and that they will do whatever they can underneath your nose without even alerting you. They're showing you what they're about. They're showing you what they're about. Somebody says, let me see, somebody commented, what's it say? Ms. Davis says the closing doors on the public schools is next, because you never know what type of person is walking in. And yeah, that's a whole nother thing, what's going on in the schools. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's a serious problem. But we can't leave. We got to stay here and fight. We got to stand up. We can't just let them do us anyway. Because if you try to run away and you try to go to another city, many people that are watching from across the country. So people will tell you in Texas, they'll tell you what happened when all of the people ran from California. All of that stuff came there. They'll tell you what happened in Nashville when all the people running from places like New York and other places. It's now the same stuff. Same stuff is happening right in Nashville. Okay? They'll tell you the problems in these other so-called red states. All of the issues are traveling there because people are not standing up here and pushing back. We must stand up here. And that's what I'm asking you. If you are of good sense and of good values and good morals, please donate to my campaign. Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com. You don't have to be local. Share this video and encourage 10 other people to donate to my campaign too. If we get 100 donations of $100, we'll really be able to make an impact in this campaign, because we can't let this stuff go. We let it go here, it's going to go over there next. Then it'll go over there. Okay, if you live in Monroe County, I need your donation. Donate to my campaign. If you live in New York State, I need your donation. Donate to my campaign. If you live in the United States of America, I need your donations. Donate to my campaign, because we got to stop these socialists, fake neo-progressives, and these other weak Democrats that are destroying our city. Most of the people here, you guys, listen to me carefully. Most of the people in my city are Democrats. If you're watching this, you're probably a Democrat. Can you believe that this is what these crazy people are saying represents you as a Democrat? That's what these people are telling you as a Democrat represents you. That's what you believe in. As a Democrat, these people are telling you as a Democrat that you believe in child genital mutilation. You believe in cutting off a little boy's wedding tackle? You believe in cutting off a little girl's bosoms? That's what you believe as a Democrat? I don't think you believe that, but that's what they're telling you out their mouth that you believe in. Don't stand for that. Help me. You can donate to my campaign. Like I said, it doesn't matter who you are. Okay, you can vote for me if you live in the city of Rochester this year in November or in early voting. Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com. Go to my website, donate. And I'll be on the conservative line this year. So just look for me on line C. Just check my name, and you don't even need to change your party to do it. We got a couple other comments. Let's see. Okay. And let's see. I can't read that. Why does it say that? Can't read that. Sorry. It takes everyone to fight, Marcus. What a disgrace to humanity. Absolutely right. It is a disgrace to humanity. It's an absolutely repugnant disgrace to humanity. And we shouldn't be sitting idly by, going for it. People, you guys, I'm encouraging you. You can't just stand on the internet and pitch a fit and say, oh, I don't like this, or oh, I don't like that. We're beyond that. We can't do that no more. That's not going to get us where we need to be. People need to get active. You got to get out. You got to help. You got to help me pass out flyers. You got to help me knock on doors. I need your help to make phone calls. I need your donations. I need you guys to get active. If you're not in the city of Rochester, wherever you are, you need to get active now. And you need to be making sure that you're shoring up with other good people and linking up with them. Okay. So that when the time comes, if need be, you can get active on these type of issues. Because there is no way that our government, our government should be legislating social change. Let me be very clear on that. There's 2 things that is very important that the government does not do, because once that starts to happen, that means the government is the arbiter of all, and you might as well kiss your rights and liberties goodbye. And this is the first step, okay? This right here, because what it is it's legislating social morality and the social code of our city. Okay, you can't legislate morals, right? People say you can't legislate morals. You kind of can if you have something to base those morals on, which will be the teachings of Jesus and the Lord our Father in heaven, which is what the foundations of our nation was founded upon. And we can dig into that deep. Some people will say, oh, well, separation of church and state, that's not a real thing. That's also a lie. I teach classes on this. You can join one. They're usually free. Okay, sometimes they're $10. All right. But here's the deal. We, in this legislation, have become so perverted in nature as a society that people from our past would not recognize us today. I want you to go out right now and tell your grandma, if your grandmother's alive, go tell your grandmother that they're going to let grown men shower in public with little girls in rec centers and in city pools. Go tell them that. Go tell your grandmother that. Tell your grandfather that. Tell your old uncle. Y'all know the one. Go tell your old uncle that. Okay? Let them know. Let them know. Let's see what they say. Nobody would recognize what's going on right now. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Let's see. We got another comment here. It's abomination. It is. It is. And let's take 2 seconds, okay, and talk about the abomination, right? Because people be like, oh, well, you're anti-alphabet or whatever the case is. Listen, I talk about this all the time. Your issues with same-sex attraction is your own personal issues, and that is your flesh and your own personal demons you got to fight back against and push back against. I hope you turn to Christ so Christ can help you overcome those issues. All of us have our proclivities or things that we have been given that are our own personal struggles. For some, it's things like drug use or alcoholism or pornography or what do you call it? Sleeping around, stuff like that, other sexual sin and stuff like that. And this is stuff that we have to understand and recognize. It doesn't make you a bad person, right? No, but nobody is good and all fall short of the Lord our Father, okay? But it doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. The issue is people will say, oh, well, if they're acting on those, that is the sin, right? Like you can have those desires, but acting on it is the sin. And I'm not condemning anybody for any of that. You got to go fix that, okay? That's your thing. What I'm talking about is a step further than that, because this isn't even about homosexuality. And this is what I have to emphasize to you guys. It's not about homosexuality. It's not about the L, the G, or the B. It's about all the rest of that nonsense. All of these other extra letters that they done added on. They done gone from homosexuality, which is the L, G, and the B, okay? That's the actual sexual orientation, to all these other letters, okay? To all these other letters. Trans, intersex, all of this other nonsense. Stop playing in my face. You making stuff up, okay? And I don't care what nobody says trying to get in my comments, say some different stuff. First of all, I don't care what you got to say, saying something different on that level, on that conversation. I'd be happy to have a conversation on anything else, okay? But you want to tell me that I'm wrong on that, I'm going to tell you that you ain't right on life, okay? You need to fix yourself, okay? Because when you're out here telling little kids that they can identify as a cat and that they need a litter box in the schools before your cat child, I'm going to ask you, if your cat is out in public and not in your house or in your backyard, can we put them down like the rest of the thing, like the rest of the animals? Well, the fact of the matter is they just passed new laws in New York State that allow them to kill your elders. I call it eldercide. They call it compassionate care. And you know, it's medically aided induced death, they call it. They just passed this in New York State. The Democrats, once again, saying that they represent you, passed that. And now they're going to kill off your elders because it's a financial burden on the state because the state's paying out too much for them. They won't tell you that that's what it is, but that's what it is. It's the same reason why they tell you to kill off your babies, right? This legislation says, oh, yes, we believe that you should be able to kill all your babies. Okay. You believe that we should be able to kill all the babies. You believe that we should be able to kill all the elders. It's no wonder people are out here in these streets killing each other left and right. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't have any respect for the sanctity of life, then you try to put in a policy on the city telling me that you don't got no respect for the sanctity of life. Then you're going to be like, oh, well, there's some murders over there. And then I thought about it. I said, I wonder why, and I bring this up in videos often, I wonder why city council never talks about the murders or the victims of violent crime and the stuff like that. Well, it's very clear by this legislation that they passed affirming that they believe in murdering your babies. They said, you know, we don't care about life at all. Now we know where they stand. They've shown their colors. And this is the reason why they're not doing anything about all the murders. This is the reason why they're not doing anything about the violent crime. And one thing that this bill should show you more than anything that they just passed, that all of this stuff is nonsense. It's illegal, by the way, but that's a separate conversation for another time. But all of this nonsense, nowhere in there is there protections for victims. No, we got all this crime going on. Nowhere in there did they put a section for it to be a sanctuary city for victims of violent crime. Nowhere in there did they put it to be a sanctuary city for businesses that have been vandalized or robbed or lost due to theft or robbery. Nowhere in there did they say that we're going to protect the victims of people who have been murdered or address the issues of families of victims of crime. Nowhere in there does it say any of that. If we're not keeping our own people, our own citizens safe, who is it a sanctuary city for? Now you're asking the right questions. Who is it really a sanctuary city for? Because we're not safe outside. Yesterday, if you saw the news, we had like 8 shootings, 4 stabbings, and all types of other craziness going on. I'm not even making those numbers up. I think I saw 6 shootings in the news. You know what I'm saying? It might have been 7 because 2 of them were like double shootings. So it might have been 7. I might have seen all 8 that I know of in the news. So one was a double shooting right downtown in front of our senator's office, who says he'll never lock up criminals again, Jeremy Cooney. Okay, Democrat, right? Like these are Democrat policies. They're telling you as a Democrat, if you're a Democrat, that this is what represents you as a Democrat. I don't think that most Democrats believe this. So I encourage you this year in November, vote for me. You don't need to change your party to do it. Okay? Because look at the nonsense that they're putting into policy. So 2 people were murdered right in front of his, well, not murdered, they were shot. Yeah, I think 1 might have ended up dying. They might still be okay. Too many people died. Like 3 people died yesterday. This whole thing crazy. The one that got stabbed up died. That one didn't make the news though. Anyway, they had another stabbing over on what's that right there? Dewey and Driving Park. Okay, they stabbed multiple times. It's the way that they wrote it, it sounded better than I'm sure that it really was. Because when I was reading it in print, it looked crazy. So I'm sure it really was very crazy. Then we had the police responded, and I don't think that this made the news, but the police responded to this one call for, I guess they were stealing cars or somebody was breaking into cars or whatever the case is. So they go there to investigate the people stealing the cars. And then all of a sudden, the police are caught in the crossfire between 2 other unrelated individuals that are shooting over something else completely. And then one of the police had to shoot back to stop one of them from shooting. And the whole thing is crazy. The whole thing is absolutely crazy. Christine, what you saying? Christine says they already had, I don't understand what you're saying. You got to put more words there, sister. I see it, but they already have, you got to be more specific. I'm sorry. I don't know when that comment popped up. But yeah, so this is a serious problem. They're not putting any legislation forward saying that we're going to protect the city, the citizens, but you're calling it a sanctuary city. On top of that issue, there was like 4 other shootings and then like multiple stabbings on top of what I already mentioned. And this was yesterday. So where is the protection for the actual citizens, right? It's a sanctuary city for who? Everybody except for you. Every single city council person, every single person on the county ledge, it's safe for them. It's great for them. Not for you. Not for you, because they don't care about you. City council doesn't care about you. And they call themselves Democrat. And you might be a Democrat. Does this stuff represent you? Absolutely not. And I encourage you, vote for me. Okay, this November 4th. You don't even need to change your party to do it. And please donate to my campaign. We need to raise about $10,000. So whatever you can donate, whether it's $25 or $500 or more, it doesn't matter. Whatever you can donate, you don't even have to be local to donate. I need your help to defeat these crazy socialist, neo-Marxist, and progressives, and that call themselves progressives. We already went over how they're not really progressive, but that's a different conversation. And these communists, all of these people that are on our city council, we don't have one voice of reason on there. They voted 9-0, you guys, 9-0. Every single Democrat on there voted for this insanity. Even the one that calls himself a pastor, even the one that calls himself a Jew, and even the other ones on there that call themselves Christians voted for this insanity. It's unacceptable. So please donate to my campaign. Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com. You don't have to be local to donate. Donate whatever you can. If we can get 100 people to donate $100, we'll really be cooking. Okay, so please donate whatever you can. Now, I want to read some more. I want to get into the illegal alien portion. Okay, I want to talk about that because I haven't been talking about that because it's hard for me to get to talk about that, right? Like if you're watching this and you follow me or if maybe you're new here, but if you follow me, you know how I feel about illegal aliens. Okay, we need to prioritize citizens, immigrants here that are here legally, and the refugees. That's it. Illegal aliens need to go back, okay? Because they need to follow the process the appropriate way. Because we got tons of refugees that are struggling hard to try to get into this country that now are on extended waiting lists that was already bad because all of these illegal aliens came in here, and that's not cool. Not cool at all. They're also taking stuff away from refugees because of the illegal aliens, and they're giving it to them instead. Don't even get me started. I work with a lot of them, and it's a serious problem. Okay, I don't like it at all. I got a lot to say on it. I don't want. It's frustrating. I don't really want to go down that path right now. Somebody said a comment. Let me see. She says, "Is there an appeal process to object to the law?" We have to go and push them to change the law. We have to go and push city council to amend that. Okay, so reach out to me if you want to help fight this. Reach out to me, send me a message in Messenger, shoot me an email or whatever at my email, Marcus4Rochester.com. Okay, you can shoot me an email, shoot me a message in Messenger or whatever. Okay, and we can work on organizing to push back against this insanity on city council. Now, I want to talk about this illegal alien thing real quick. I might not even read it all. The whole thing is very long. But essentially what it does, I'm gonna paraphrase a good portion of it. Okay. But essentially what it does is it says that no police officers or whatever can help federal officials at all under any circumstances. So that's problematic. Okay. And this is a serious issue because we know very recently we had HIS, Homeland Security Investigations, here in Rochester, and they were arresting people that were illegal aliens, right? And people were like, oh, well, they're arresting these people or whatever, and it's ICE, it's ICE, it's ICE. Okay, so first of all, Homeland Security Investigations is essentially the FBI version of the Department of Homeland, right? So that's their version of the FBI. So if you find HSI somewhere, it's real serious. There's some serious stuff going on. Okay. There's some international criminality type of stuff. So they were here working on busts for actual human trafficking and human smuggling. Now, I said earlier, we got a huge human trafficking and human smuggling issue in our city that never gets talked about. I'm the only person that I know that's involved locally in politics on any side of anything that even talks about the human trafficking here at all. It's very bothersome to me. Don't get me started on the missing teenagers, okay? And especially all the missing teenager girls. And they're like, oh, they ran away from home. You telling me that all these teenagers ran away from home and none of them have a social media footprint? Who's dumb? You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Is it a sanctuary city for missing children? What are we doing? What are we doing? So anyway, people got real mad that Homeland Security and ICE were here busting up these human trafficking rings. And I made a comment, and a whole bunch of people, most of them transplants, not Rochester natives, okay, and more affluent individuals got mad. Then I said, good that HIS is locking these people up. And I pointed out that they're human traffickers that they're going after. They're targeting human traffickers. And they're like, oh, you're not nice because you support ICE or whatever the case is. Okay. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? You support human trafficking? Like, this is the mindset of these people here. Like, that doesn't represent us. Like, you tripping. But so the police stopped, and they had, because HIS, again, these are investigators. These are like real serious people, right? Like, it's not ICE. It's not Border Patrol. Okay. Even though Border Patrol and Customs, they get real serious too. That's a whole separate conversation. I appreciate them. You should really look into some of the stuff that they do. I think Border Patrol is underappreciated the same way that the U.S. Coast Guard is underappreciated. When you really find out what type of real raw dudes that some of these people that are in the Coast Guard are, you're like, oh, it'll change your whole view on the Coast Guard. Same thing about Border Patrol, okay? Because we have a warped conception of that. But I bring that up to say that these people were out here saying, oh, well, it's bad for them to be here And the police had helped stop these other people because it was a van. It was like 8 people in the van, right? So the police came, the HIS had called for backup or whatever. They didn't know what they were getting into. These human smugglers, right? They can have all types of weapons. We see all types of weapons on our streets right now. Again, is it a sanctuary city for victims? Absolutely not, right? But then the mayor got up on the TV chastising our police, saying, "Oh, the police shouldn't help the ICE and the border patrol and stuff like that, and they shouldn't do that." Excuse me? What do you mean they shouldn't do that? Are they criminals? Yes. Is the police's job to deal with the criminals? Yes. Is it in our city? Yes. Is the criminals in our city? Yes. Is the crime in our city? Yes. So why would they not do that? Are you telling me that if the U.S. Marshals ask for help from the police, that the police can't help the U.S. Marshals? You want to tell me that if the sheriff asks for help from RPD, that the sheriff can't get no help from RPD? If it's in the city of Rochester? Can you make that make sense to me? Explain it to me like I'm 5 years old. Because these people be playing in your face. And then it turned into such a big situation. Okay, it got to the ears of the president himself and what's it call him? Tom Homan. And Tom Homan came to Rochester and spoke to the police, you know what I'm saying, to try to boost up their morale after people like Stanley Martin, okay, voted to push to defund the police. Then she had the nerve. I got a video out there. Okay. Then she had the nerve to tell me she never pushed to defund the police. She was a goddamn lie. Okay. I even pulled the article and showed the article where she said that because she said it innumerable times. Okay. Same thing with Mary Lupien. We need to abolish the police. Not just get rid of her, defund, abolish the police. Well, abolish doesn't mean abolish. I know language. I got a dictionary. I know what words means. Whose face are you playing in? And that's what these elected officials do. They play in our face like we're dumb and we're supposed to just go along with them. I'm not going along with none of y'all. And like they tell you as a child, don't let nobody else drive your bus. I refuse to let these people drive our bus because they are driving off a cliff. Okay? And I encourage you, if you're tired of these crazy kookbacks all over our city and all over the country, donate to my campaign. You don't even have to be local to donate. Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com. That's Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com. Please go there, donate whatever you can, whether it's $25, $100, or $500 or more. Whatever you can donate helps a lot. If we can get like 100 donations of $100, we'll really be moving forward because I'm going to need about $10,000 to really make this campaign and pull it off completely to make a win. And remember, in November 4th, tell your friends, your family, your enemies, everybody, but whoever you know that's tired of this nonsense that's going on in the city with the crime, with the schools, with the jobs, with the housing, with the energy prices, whatever the case is, tell them to vote for me, Marcus C. Williams, for Rochester City Council November 4th on election day or in early voting. They don't even have to change their party to vote for me. I'll be on the conservative line and they can just check my name, whether they're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever. You can vote for me because it's time that we stand up and we say no more. It's time that we stand up and we say we demand elected officials that will address our actual issues, not just serve special interest groups and not just serve nonprofits and not just serve their benefactors, but actually serve our residents and our citizens. That's what I got for y'all. Okay. I want to talk more, but I'm really overwhelmed with a lot of less than positive, not so much feelings, but I'm feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have an adequate word or there's not an adequate feeling to explain exactly my thoughts and feelings on this matter right now, because it's wrong, right? Like instead of equal rights, they're giving superior rights. And they're forcing laws on you to constrain you from your good sense, from your sense of morality, okay, from your religious perspective, from your human perspective, that they're trying to push this indoctrination and forced acceptance of a rewriting of social norms, which the government shouldn't ever have anything to do with rewriting social or cultural norms. It's unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. It is oppression and it is repression. And that's what it is, and it needs to be called out for exactly what it is. People want to talk about fascism and fascists. This is fascism. Empowering the government by the government writing more laws to control your everyday aspect of life, your business, the way that you run your own stuff. That's called fascism. When you put all the hands in the power of government. But these people will call you fascist for not believing it. They're the fascist ones. I don't want the government doing everything. As a matter of fact, I think the government is too big. I think the federal government needs to be 1/80th of the size that it is. It's way too huge. They do way too much, and they can't even govern themselves. Okay? They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing right. Even the basics of their job, like passing a budget, they can't even do that. And it's not a party thing. It's all of them. You understand what I'm saying? It's a whole government. Then we talk about the local level. These people don't represent me. They don't represent you. Not a one of them. Not a one of them. You understand what I'm saying? And they serve themselves. So why would I want to empower them to have more power over me, my friends, my family, my business, my citizens, or anything like that? Why would you want to give them more power? I don't want to give them more power. I think that most of the laws that the city has, especially city ordinances and stuff like that, need to be completely removed. I think that for the majority of them, we would probably cut it down at least a good 50%. At least a good 50%. But they don't want to do that because they want more power. All of it is about them gaining more power over your everyday life. I want to re-empower the citizens and disempower the government. That's what I'm about. I'm about empowering you and putting the hands of power in your hands. Okay? Because these people clearly don't care about you. You don't matter to them. They do whatever they want. They serve their own masters. If they're not putting money in their pockets, they're putting money in their cousins' pockets or the offshore bank accounts or wherever they're putting it. You understand what I'm saying? The gold bullion that they're storing in their storage locker. You understand what I'm saying? All of this nonsense that's really going on. Then you see all of these people when they finally do get off city council or everything, all of them got these real cushy palatial jobs in other places. And you really start to ask yourself, what's really going on? And then you look at the companies and stuff that they end up working for and stuff like that. And you're like, well, wait a second. Isn't that a group that gets money from the government? Like, how's that not a conflict of interest? All of these things are real serious. And we need to talk about them, but more than talking about them, we need to demand action from our elected officials. So please, I'm asking you, have faith that you can make a difference. Help my campaign, pitch in, donate, whatever you can, volunteer on my page. Okay, donate. You don't even have to be local to donate. Please, whatever you can, $25, $100, $250, $500, $1,000, whatever you can do. Help us get more money so we can get the word out, make more advertisements, get more flyers. Here's some of the flyers right here. Look like this. This is some of our current flyers right here. We need more flyers. Please donate. Okay. We need more advertisements online. I need your help with that. I'd like to get a mailing out or something like that, but the mailings, they really cost a couple $1,000s. So we need to raise more funds. So please donate to my campaign from wherever you are. Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com. Help me defeat these people who very clearly are supposed to represent our citizens, but only represent themselves. I'll catch you guys later. Remember, share this video, share it with your friends, share it on your page, send it in an email, send it down the street in a snail mail, whatever you can do. Get the message out. Help me make a difference in Rochester. Stop these socialists. Stop these quasi so-called progressives. Stop these people that are trying to impede in your everyday life. Stop these people that are trying to empower the government so that they have more control over you. I will never vote on anything that empowers the government to have more control over you or empowers the government to tell you what you can do, can or are not able to do in your private business and your private life. Okay? And they say never, okay? But as long as I have anything to say about it, I won't. Okay? And if it's something that even remotely sounds reasonable, I'm gonna bring your attention to every single thing that I sign off on, especially if it's something that sounds crazy. But right now, nobody told us about this bill. This bill just come out of nowhere. Okay. And let me tell you the process of order of operations. These crazy people were working behind the scenes to push this bill in. Mary and Stanley and Kim Smith submitted it. It looks like it was June 4th. I don't know if that's what it actually was, but that's what it says on the piece. So then it got pushed into the I guess you'd say docket on June 6th, 17th, and then it went to the committee, was it the committee of the whole, which is all of the people on city council are on that committee, so they're all supposed to work on it together. And then just Tuesday, okay, which would have been, I don't know, what, the 26th? I feel like it was the 26th, okay, was when they actually voted on the whole thing to pass it and implement it. And every single one of them voted on it. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. And the fact that they're telling our law enforcement not to do their job is even worse, right? Because like they keep making it worse and worse and worse. And I'm very concerned at the end of the day about martial law and Governor Kathy using the National Guard on our streets, because she's already started to normalize that. She did it during COVID. They were even doing checkpoints. They had the National Guard in the hospital. I was warning people then. They're trying to normalize it so they can just usher in martial law. You'll be clamoring for the boot, and then they'll actually give it to you. You think that they passed these laws to let all the criminals run wild for no reason? You think they shut down all the prisons for no reason? You think all of this stuff happens in a vacuum? It doesn't. It's part of a very, very more serious, devious plan to deteriorate our society so that it can empower the few and disempower everybody else. That's what all of it's about at the end of the day. And many of these people that are serving in these different positions are all about self-interest. So they'll do whatever is best for themselves, not for you. I'm out for the community. And if that means that I get in there and I end up being in there for one term, so be it. Okay, I'm going to show you what real representation looks like and what your future representatives should do. And I want you to hold them to that level of standard that I'm going to show you when I get in there. So please donate to my campaign, Marcus, the number 4, Rochester.com. You don't have to be in the city of Rochester to donate. You can be anywhere in the country and donate. And if you're in Rochester or in the county area, please volunteer for my campaign too. We got to make this happen. We can't have these people be doing this. And this year we have a real shot at winning this. But with your help, we can guarantee a win. So tell all your friends and everybody else, donate, pitch in, help me save our city and push back against this insanity. I will fight for you. I will fight for our city. I will fight for our nation to bring some sense to the nonsense that's going on. Okay. You guys be blessed and be well. Remember, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Take action. If you want to get more active here locally, reach out to me. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Be blessed and be well.